Season 3 build is released, and in this week's The Late Apex, we will be giving our verdict in terms of the new content that has been released. New tracks, new cars, new UI updates, and several other tweaks have been made to the platform for this week. My name is Sam Fitzpatrick. Alongside me is David Sampson. We'll be discussing that and everything else that has gone on in the world of sim racing over the past 7 days. David, how are you? This is an exciting week. Week 13 is always a fun time.
It is. Plus, we're doing the early Apex today.
It's a very, very early Apex. Too early in Apex, some will say.
Too early, yes.
But
yeah, doing well. Yeah, excited for the build. I've been testing as much as I can. I haven't done all the tracks. And I definitely haven't found all the UI elements, but until officials kick up, I suppose you're not really analysing results and stuff, but we'll get into that as we go through the list. But yeah, looking forward to got a 24-hour endurance tomorrow morning. So I think I'm ready for that. It's just another race, right? That's long.
Exactly. That'll be the Majors 24. We'll be talking about that in a bit, but let's get straight into iRacing and the Season 3 build. We pretty much knew everything that was coming, but this is our opportunity to try stuff. We'll start on the stuff that I've tried, and that is Sachsenring and Navarra.
Okay, good. We've got everything covered then.
Good. Because I wasn't familiar with either of these tracks. Sachsenring, all I know is that Marc Marquez has won there 10 consecutive times in MotoGP and across other motorcycle disciplines. He is an absolute monster there. And I was quite excited about the circuit because it's got an iconic drop. That elevation change coming out of the third to final corner is the way that they show it on TV. You really appreciate the elevation change that the riders have to deal with. And then, of course, Navarra, I really had nothing to do with, apart from the fact I knew that I think it hosted British Superbikes Round 1 for this season, which is very odd, considering it is in Spain. But what was your verdict of these two new circuits?
Again, I didn't have much knowledge. I've done a little bit of Navarra. I haven't done much Sachsenring, but I have to say from the footage I've seen, it does look good. I always like elevation changes. Road Atlanta, Bathurst, the new track, Portimao, Algarve, all those sort of tracks, Sonoma. I love. I don't know why. I just think elevation belongs on a racing track. I mean, I can forgive Sebring, but you know,
can you forgive Silverstone?
No, because we need a little bit of like we just need camber there.
Sure, yeah,
it's brutal.
Yeah,
it's absolutely brutal. It's fine in a Formula car or lots of downforce.
We have some of these sorts of images from Sachsenring. What I would say about Sachsenring, actually, these are some pretty nice images. It is a lot of sort of longer radius corners, but it's a very fast track. There's no slow speed corners really on the whole circuit, and it really flows nicely. And you'll see from this onboard lap in the Super Formula.
Well, here we go.
This one's in the FIA F4. But you go into this turn 1, long turn 1, which I think is quite a challenge. All about getting on the power early. This guy's nowhere near on the power early enough. And then this next corner is so tricky, this one.
So yeah, you just don't want to be washing out the fronts in these long corners. Do you think this will play in the hands of GT cars? GT cars, we do like our slow speed corners. Do you think this is going to lend itself with all this, inherent understeer, right? These kind of corners just induce understeer in GT cars.
I think it will mainly be for like single seaters like this, but yeah, you could host GT3s, maybe not multi-class stuff, maybe not IMSA, but that one is flat. I think if you get a good enough setup, I think that'll be flat in the F4. This one's flat, this one's flat.
Oh, come on, yeah, no.
And this next one is flat as well. So if you're in like a high performance single seater, there's only 4 corners on the track.
So yeah, I think Super Formula Light's F4 would be absolutely epic here, but you're right. If this was an IMSA, where on earth would we get the braking done, like on a slower speed car?
Yeah, it would be tricky. This one has a really tricky exit curve where it's really easy to beach the car over the top of it, so won't be getting too many 1Xs there. But yeah, I am a fan. I did a lot of laps in the Super Formula Light round there yesterday, and it was just a good hot lapping circuit where there's very few corners to learn. Like I said, because most of the corners are flat out. I think there's 13 corners, but I think like 2 of them aren't really corners, and then about 5 of them are flat out. and so you only got really 4 corners to learn, and so it's just nice to have to nail them lap after lap, almost like a Brands Hatch Indy, I guess, is
Yeah.
sort of a similar feeling. So very much gets my seal of approval. Unfortunately, I don't think it'll be super popular, and it is painful.
That's what I was just coming to. Another paid track that no one's heard of.
Yeah.
It's doomed, isn't it? In the
It's
popular
better than
stuff.
Oschersleben. I guess
Yep.
Oschersleben is the most comparison one. I say even Oschersleben is less popular than this because that doesn't host any world championships. But that, of course, really failed. But I'd say this is better than Oschersleben, more fun than Oschersleben.
In the world we live in, the GTs, the Endurance, the IMSA, the GTPs, the Porsche Cup, that world, I think we're not going to see this track much, are we? If we be honest. I mean, even if we do see it on the schedule, we're not going to see much of it being streamed or participated in with big splits.
No.
No.
So that's a shame, but yeah, I'm glad that it's been added. And I'm glad that it was worth my money, all $14.95 plus VAT. The other new track is Navara. Now, I'm not going to be as positive about Navara. This is a track with a lot of hairpins. So many hairpins. And it feels like it repeats itself about 3 times. The first sector, in my opinion, is good. The first 4 corners, I'm happy with. The rest of it, I'm not so convinced by. But what did you think about it when you drove it?
Yeah, I haven't done a lot. I liked it. It is quite narrow. It's quite fun. Obviously, I'm not the best at learning tracks. And in the session I was in, now I don't know if it was just the weather conditions, but I had trouble seeing the red and white curves. Here, obviously, I'm seeing it's blatantly obvious, but maybe just the way the shadows were cast. In the session I was in, it felt very washed out, but the experience here is completely different, so I'm glad I saw it from this angle. I had never even heard of this. I'd never even heard of this circuit, but this is a free one, right? So I'm expecting we're going to see this a lot in the Mazdas, the Skippies, the Vs, the Clios. Is that a thing still anymore?
Yeah, it's a thing. I mean, of course, iRacing make these circuits free for a variety of reasons. Sometimes it's because they're unpopular. Sometimes I imagine it's because certain circuits want to have their track in the game, and so maybe they're willing to pay a bit more in that regard and not have it paid. I think this one was literally they made the circuit and then they realised no one's going to drive this. We need to make it free because no one will buy it. Like, I feel like that was the logic. I really think if this wasn't free, this would be barely used. This first part of the circuit is all right. This one's a very tricky one to get it slowed down, and then really tricky traction zone around this next long right-hander.
Is this majoritively used for motorcycles?
I think so, yeah.
We've been getting a lot of those, right?
That's all Spanish circuits.
True. It just feels like we've added so many recently. It almost feels like we're getting a motorbike added soon.
Sure. Yeah. This is the part of the circuit which I feel like repeats itself. Long straight, or medium straight, hard braking zone. Loops around to the right, you loop it to the left, and then this one has another left, and then you're straight a bit, and now it's going to be another hard braking zone into a tight right. Loops around to the right, then goes to the left, and there's another tight right. So it feels like it repeats itself like 3 times the second half of the circuit.
Comment in the chat, be a nice addition for the rookie rosters. Yeah, I mean, if it's free, then I can see this getting some love from...
Is it too tricky for rookies? It's quite a technical circuit, I think.
It is.
It's not like a Lime Rock or an Okayama.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to be unenthused permanently about new tracks in iRacing, but it's just been a long time since we had a couple of hits with excitement.
Does Magello not count?
Oh, IMSA barely went official.
Sure.
There's all news articles about it.
No, it's a really good circuit, is Magello. So if Magello doesn't hit, then I don't think anything will.
Yeah.
Apart from Bahrain.
Plus, I say, we've discussed this almost as much as motorsport games, but
yeah,
it's not just the next track. It's nothing wrong with Magello. It's just the sense that people are just like, no, we actually don't need any more. Like, it's not that I don't want to, that I've hit my limit. I have enough tracks. Plus, I just know deep down I'm not going to see it in my series, and if I do, it won't have participation.
So you don't think people are buying these tracks? Because I think
Correct,
they might be
yeah.
buying them, just not racing them. Because you've bought them, but you're just not racing them.
I'm just a streamer. I have to. Like when Tuesday, whatever it is that it updates, the first thing I have to do is add all to cart. I'm like, oh.
But I feel like maybe it's just a car thing. Maybe it doesn't apply to tracks, but I feel like people get hyped about a new thing and then they're like, oh, I need to do this. Like, for example, the Corvette. A lot of people will buy the Corvette this week and won't drive it for the next 12 months.
Yeah, true.
Or the
Yeah.
Mustang, same with the Mustang.
The Mustang's getting a lot of hype. It's quite fun to drive, actually.
Well, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
I haven't tried these cars yet, so I'll be relying on you. But I have got some sort of feedback from the Apex Racing drivers, and I think obviously the Mustang is the one that everyone flocked to first, and I think generally it has been quite positive. It's quite satisfying to drive.
So my takes, I did quite a bit of testing at a few tracks and wet and dry. Let's go Mustang first, as that's definitely the hype car out on track. It's pretty damn good. Obviously, it is. I think it's one of the loudest cars in the sim, and it sounds full. Like has an orchestra. So yeah, you're smiling coming at the pits. Like I say, we've got past that. The driving, it feels like the entry slip is a little wider. So it almost feels like you've got a lot more entry rotation than other cars. But then obviously, then the iRacing thing kicks in, and if you've overextended, the rear can get a little. I can't describe it to another car on entry. People have been saying Merc and Bimmer. I just don't feel it. Late corner, I almost feel the Audi because of just how much you can abuse the slip. Whether you're in the more narrow slip, maybe it doesn't feel like the Audi-esque. But my comments again are on the fix set. The throttle is like the Porsche fix set. If you second you touch it, that's it. You're tracking. That is your. That's your line.
Almost like a front-wheel drive car.
Correct. Yeah, that you have picked your line. It doesn't matter about now throttle modulation. The diff locks up and you're going that way. But yeah, really good to drive. You can experiment a lot mid-corner and get a lot from it. Slow speed isn't great, but it's just a heavy, big car, and maybe the fix set isn't the best. The Corvette GT3, I didn't love the fix set. It's very understeery, mid-entry. It's got the throttle push as well, like the Porsche and the Mustang we've discussed. Maybe it's just a new trend of the fix sets. The car sounds... I like it, but I know lots of people don't. If it sounds very... well, we'll play a video in a minute. You're here, but it's very... Lots of... Is it? I don't know how to describe it. It's almost like engine and wind mixed together. Like you get a lot of airflow sounding. I don't love the fix set though. But yeah. I tried them in the wet.
Sure.
And I had done 7, 8 officials that week. And I drove the Audi, and it was dominant in the wet. So when I jumped in the vet, I jumped in the Mustang first. Wet tyres, fixed set, with the rain tyres on their wet, and it was horrible. It was like the BMW and Merc. I just did not like the Mustang in the wet. Like, I tried everything. In the end, I was just way off pacing it. I jumped in the vet. Lap 2, I was right on top of my Audi pace. In the wet, it feels like an Audi. Okay. I think with open sets, the vet's going to be very strong. I don't know about the Mustang. I like the fixed set. I don't know if that's peak, if that's the limit, or if open sets can take it further. I'm not sure. Kenny in chat, it wants to fall over itself on exit. Is that the Mustang you're talking about?
In relation to the Mustang.
Yeah. Chris Donnell says, I like the Vet, but I'm biased as I like the GTE. Yes, very well said, Chris.
Sure. Is it very similar to the GTE? Does it feel so? Because it's a totally different.
I should have covered everything,
build.
right? I should have covered my. I don't know because I love the GTEs. Like GTE for me is still way above all the rest of stuff I used to drive. I now drive. No, it isn't. I don't think so.
Like it shouldn't be. I know that there's the same car, but like they're modelled years between one another. So like different people would have been modelling them. So like it shouldn't be that similar. But yeah.
But yeah, I liked them. I raced them both at Spa, top split. The Mustang, like top 3 in quali, top 3 in result. Corvette, it was a little bit of a higher soft, but I was like P8, and I was the fastest vet. So I was like, ugh. And it was Mustang, Audi, Mustang. I was like, ugh, like a bit frustrating. But because I drove it in the rain, I drove it at Road Atlanta as well, I just felt like there was potential that the fixed set was holding me back. I could be wrong though. It might just be inherently a car thing. And the Mustang, the fixed set felt excellent. So that's why I'm judging them. Even though the Mustang is actually better than the Vet, I have got it in my head that the Vet's better because there's potential.
And I think that is something that a lot of people miss, where it's like, where they jump into a car, and if the set's not right, then yeah, of course it's going to change the characteristics of the car,
Yeah.
So, no, people shouldn't jump to conclusions.
But I think fixed, I just feel like it's Lambo still. Personally, I have not tested. I will. Maybe the Stang can do something to disrupt that, but I just feel like it's still Lambo. I don't know about Open. I have no idea.
So let's say you're going to the Apex Racing League GT3 Trophy, which starts next week on Friday.
Yeah.
Which car would you be registering it for?
Is it a fixed series or Open?
Open.
Well, I love the Porsche. I don't see the Vet. I need to try it. I'm not driving the Vet until I drive a good set. And the Stang would catch me out. The Mustang would. It is so much rotation on entry, but it's not a free lunch. And you find out a little bit later on in that car, like in that dock, like it feels like, oh, this is awesome, but then you find out you've overcooked it.
Sure.
A little bit too late. Porsche.
Sure.
Yeah, or Lambo. Like, yeah.
Well, a lot of people. I think Mustang's the most popular at the moment, but I'm waiting for a lot of people to change as they react to the Week 13 changes.
Yeah.
So those were the 4 main things. I think there was Oswego, wasn't there? Which I'm not familiar with, and I'd be lying if I talked about it. So
it's a left.
Yeah, it looks a really small oval.
I don't know.
Yeah. You done any figure 8 races actually this week 13? Because I think a lot of people, and I think it's been a thing for a while, people are genuinely disappointed by the Week 13 series. But personally, my one is the figure 8. I want to get at least one. I've already done one, but yeah, it's good to get one figure 8 race in, because I think
I haven't done it since like a community event. I never do it on Week 13.
I think it's an underrated skill to avoid people at the intersection.
To be honest, figure of 8 racing in Week 13, I get my feel of that just racing Week 13 at Spa. No, I did some GT3 racing at Spa. I tried out the GTPs, went to jump in a race in the prototype challenge fix with LMDH, LMP2, LMP3. Wow, awesome. 3 classes, 14 people.
Yeah.
Across
those multi-class series just don't work, I think. Because I don't have the confidence to sign up for them, because I'm like, well, my car's not going to get anyone. Everyone else is going to go for the other 2 classes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it should just be 1 class, generally, maybe 2 classes.
On the subject of GTP, in the notes, they have bopped the Acura to make it more performance related to the others. They actually said that.
Sure.
In fixed, it's still Acura, but by less. In fixed, I have not tested Open.
Sure. Yes.
Right, tell me about this iRacing UI replay menu, because I have actually used the update and I didn't notice a change.
Well, maybe I'm lying, but like I think the UI's improved. So in the replay mode, it's just nicer now. There's like more details. Oh no, I haven't got any replays on this system. Okay, that wasn't very smart, was it, Sam?
I'll see if I've got any on this random laptop.
Okay. But there were other changes, to be fair. So they've also got this results thing. So it took me a while to find this, actually. But you got results and stats, and then you can go to the series leaderboards. And I think this driver leaderboards is a new thing. So they used to have this on the website, but as they change everything over to the UI, this is now a thing. So for podcast listeners, yeah, if you go to results and stats in the iRacing UI, then you can basically list everyone by their iRacing in each of the different categories. Now, it does take a while to load.
Well, no, it's probably not going to work, right? The officials aren't live yet.
Oh, it was working earlier on.
Oh.
I was testing earlier.
So are we celebrating them giving us features that we used to have on the web?
Yeah, but like,
Are we really at that point where we're like,
No,
oh, look,
because
we've got this back?
I'm not celebrating it, but I'm relieved because there will be elements which I totally dropped from the website, which they just never build into the UI. So this is nice that they've introduced this, so you can see where you are. What rank do you think I am on sports cars in the world?
Wait, you've done a sports car official? Oh, you're supposed to done the Nord 24.
I've done the North.
Oh,
I
just
did a
ranked
Mazda race
globally. I
yesterday.
don't know. I think I'm like 1.24% of the top.
Okay, sure.
I don't know the number though.
Well, now you can learn, because once this loads, and this is taking even longer than when I was testing it earlier on, I am 5,000. I used to be in the top 800, and here I am at 5,000.
Whoa, if you're 5,000th, then yeah, I'm top 200, mate. No,
I
check.
think you'll be 1,500, I reckon.
I'm back almost to peak now.
Now, this is where I don't know
driver
how to
search. Look,
Oh, here we go. Yeah, was
David P.J. Sampson.
David P.J. Sampson.
I don't know if you need the sir at the beginning or if it'll just find me.
Oh, 1,000 in the top 1,200. Come on, crack the top 1,000. If you get 6K, you can crack the top 1,000.
Look at that. Look at that.
So that's I recommend checking that out.
Yeah, that's good. They're giving us features we used to have on the web.
Yeah.
But we're still missing a ton. And you've been telling me a lot about joining leagues and the difficulty and the difficulty and the difficulty.
So tricky.
I had to join the majors thing and I nearly called you.
Yeah.
What do I do?
I mean, any league organisers, it's now your responsibility to tell people how to join the league. Don't assume that people can, and don't get angry when people can't, because it's tricky.
It used to be a
How you missed
URL, a web page where you could pick the design and the banners, and there's a register for the league.
It used to be the flashing green button notification, but the thing is, you still get the notification, but you can't click on it.
Yeah.
So the way that if anyone's confused, actually, the way that you do it is you go to leagues, my leagues, change this filter. Oh, so this filter usually defaults to my leagues, but you need to change it to all leagues, and then you'll see one of these will have like there you go. You got like a highlighted thing there, so you can do that. So that's how you accept league invites. Yes. So other changes. Lap graph and charts added to race results. That's another UI thing. I'll very quickly show you. It's not particularly interesting, but I think it looks a bit nicer than what it used to on the website. So yeah, now you've got these.
Oh, is this the crossover? I missed this.
Event log, which I think was already a thing, and then you got the new thing, lap graph, which I think is always a bit rubbish, but yeah, there you go, it's the thing, and lap chart, which is a bit more interesting. Look at all the colours. I mean, try to read that. I don't know what's going
what's
on.
What's a lightning?
So lightning's a fastest lap
of the purse. Oh, okay. Yeah, the fastest lap getting taken over. I got it.
But obviously, you're doing it by like car number. So I don't know who's second place on lap 3. You have to look. Valentin Crusoe is there. Also, embarrassingly, I finished P11 behind Matt Malone on that one. Not my finest hour.
Yeah, you don't want to lose to streamers.
No.
They never let you live it down.
Something that I was surprised about, all content now has the new damage model. All content, archive included.
Yeah, but it almost feels like they used to massage it in to make it work, and now they've gone Control A, paste. Are you sure this might mess up things? Yeah, sure, whatever. Like, I can't bother to test them anymore one by one. Just
sure.
Bulk do it. It should work. The NDM spins that we have, that's what we call them, NDM spins. So they're now called
damage model spins.
DM spins.
Just spins.
I saw it in week 13. Mark, we were racing GT3s, and is it Puon? The guy broke early. It's week 13, so perhaps he not drove a GT3, and it was like, boop. And then Mark's a DM spin.
Yeah, a bit silly. Sim Racing Esports, what will prove to be the bigger tournament this year? Major 24, the Apex Racing League GCD Trophy, or the CGWTON, the CGWTON, of course, is the Crazy Golf World Tour of Norfolk.
What would be the biggest tournament this year.
I'm not sure who Sim Racing Esports is, but clearly they've either spoken to me, Lewis Ward, or Jamie Fluke, because we all took part in the Quiz Golf World Tour of Norfolk. Lewis beats us all. So what will be the bigger event? For me, it's the Quiz Golf World Tour of Norfolk, but I appreciate that means nothing to anyone apart from me or Sim Racing Esports. So I would say the Apex Racing League GT3 trophy.
Well, I'll be commentating on that and racing in the major, so I've got an egg in,
Sure,
but I'm split.
Which would you rather win?
Which would I rather win?
Majors 24 or Apex Racing League GT3 or Quiz Golf World Tour of Norfolk, even though that means nothing to you.
The majors give you a coin. Do you give coins?
We give. What's the coin? What is it in gold?
Yeah, like a little coin, of your position.
So it's like a medal almost.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we don't do that. Yeah, probably win that.
All my team members have one because I went with Apex to Munich.
Oh, last
So
year,
I was registered for. We had a team, and then I posted in the Discord team like, "Yeah, guys, I'm gonna go do Rensport coverage. So you guys got this," and they go and get a podium.
Sure.
And get a coin. Ouch. It's almost like they were better without me.
You want to watch? Nick Horn pointing out, do you win a watch?
Oh, yeah, I think that's the best prize you can get.
Yeah.
I still haven't got it, though. I'm probably going to be competing next year for a watch before I get mine. I'm not in a rush. Hey, Nick.
There's also been a Porsche Cup tyre rework. I didn't know that was going to be a thing.
Oh, I've tried it.
It is. How is it? More like the GT3s?
No, I mean, it sounds the same, feels the same, but oh my God, the braking. Have you ever driven an LMP1?
Yeah.
That all-four tyre lock thing.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah, so the Porsche Cup, especially on cold tyres, you can be threshold at 40, 50%. And if you've got steering lock or you get a bump or you're on cold tyres, we're talking all-four tyre slide.
Okay,
and then if you heat up the tyres, you're going to lock. So the threshold for locking is disgusting right now. Like I don't know if it's a necessarily a bad thing. Like what do I have to compare? I don't drive the car in real life. So when they make tweaks, I never know the direction it should be. But I'm just saying it is tricky as hell. Oh, I drove it in the rain. And I drove the GT4s in the rain, actually. So I'll give my immediate thoughts. And I love driving in the rain. I've been driving in the rain all season. Pretty much I've been avoiding the dry all season. And I'm almost back up to peak iRacing. I've been absolutely loving the rain. LMP2, GT3, all the GT3s, right? So I tried the Macca and I tried a few of them. Honestly, dumpster fires. Imola,
Really?
moderate rain. It was as bad as like GTP wet was. It was horrible. Okay, so then I thought, Porsche GT4 will be good in the wet. And it was better. Okay, that's the word I'm going to use. So I was like, okay, I jump in a race. And it was 6.6K soft, big names up and down the field. I qualied really well. To sum up the race, I finished second. There was only 4 finishers.
Yeah, 13P?
No, this was brutal. I don't know, because I've drove Imola before a lot in officials on GT3 and LMP2. And this weren't it, Chief. Like the car, there is no wet line or dry line. It's like you brake and all you get is a numb skipping across the floor sensation. And you see the apex come up, it's like, oh, good. And then, oh, no.
Sail past it.
And then you almost come to a stop, and then you've got traction issues, and then you're caught up in a puddle because you couldn't control your entry. There you go. Alan's a GT4 driver. And he says it's terrible in the rain. Excuse me.
Yeah, GT4 Turbo, TCR, good. At least the general tyre rework. Didn't realise there was a TCR.
Yes,
tyre
I've heard. I haven't driven it, but I have heard from lots of people, all positive.
Sure, that's good.
Peak up in the wet feels like they just stole the Porsche GT3.
Okay.
Because I've driven the Audi more recently, but the most I've driven in the rain is the Porsche GT3. And I jumped in Monza, moderate rain, in the Porsche Cup. I was like, okay, this is a good one. So I drove a lot of Porsche GT3 here. And apart from it being a Porsche Cup, it felt like I was driving the Porsche GT3. So it was good, like actually really good. I think PES is going to be fun to watch, and I think the officials will be fun to drive, but the inherent lock-in issue, I say issue, try it, you'll see what I mean. All of a sudden, like, especially when you're out lap, you're just going to come up to a brake, you start braking progressively, and it's like, boom, boom, then all 4 tyres. And then you come off it, you try and re-brake, all 4 tyres. Insanity. We'll see. Again, it's the fixed set. Like, again, I don't have all the information.
Sure.
But yes, TCR tyre work, I've heard really good things. Yeah, I think we're
Yeah,
good.
I think that's pretty much most things covered. So, I did go for a bit of a clickbaity title for this video.
Yeah.
iRacing Season 3 build, a disappointment, question mark. I didn't actually mean that, but I'm a shrill. And I think it's fine. I never hate on iRacing. It's like they literally come out with like updates every 3 months. Like it takes a long time for these projects to be completed. So like for something to be released in a month is like they need to start work on that over a year prior usually. So we just get some stuff, but it's not as though they've just been lazy over like the last 3 months. It's just the way that the release dates have come up for these long projects.
Yeah.
Means that this is a maybe slightly smaller build compared to last time, but then
I just know that all GT3 drivers or people who are avoiding GT3, including myself, would have swapped everything that iRacing's just given us. Rain, Mustang, Vet, all the tracks we've been given recently for a tyre model that's not made of cheese.
sure.
Honestly, because I don't drive GT3 much anymore. I do the Bob and I do the occasional, like if it's at Spa or Sebring and Imsa's dead or something, yeah, of course I'll jump in. But it's when I wake up and I jump in the rig, it's not a GT3.
Sure.
I'm just in the wet, sure, I love them. But that's because it isn't that tyre.
Sure.
It's the wet tyre. I should see how quick I am on the wet tyre and the dry.
Yeah.
I wish we had that. Yeah, I haven't. Oh, last fun or not, I haven't tried the GTP wet tyre yet.
Sure.
I didn't want to, so I will.
Yeah.
But obviously, it scarred me. I'm not excited to go drive right now.
yeah.
Yeah. Still not going to be easy. It's a long, big, powerful car. I'm going to have to get in the zone, and I'm not in the zone on them yet.
So let's discuss more iRacing stuff. Majors 24 is coming up this weekend. You're racing in it. Of course, still got the decision of no rain. I think iRacing have mentioned that sort of the issues that were going on with rain are still very much a thing.
Mhm.
So there's sort of no sight of that ending. So yeah, probably the wise thing to do. But I hope that you're still excited. Right.
I am. Yeah, we're in an LMDH. We was in LMP2 because rain was coming and there's no way of driving MDH. So when they announced no rain, we were like, do we not do it or do we swap to MDH? Because LMP2's got no draft. Like, so in an endurance race, it can be really frustrating. Really, really
Well,
frustrating.
even the GTP doesn't have much draft as well.
No, but you just with your battery and you like it just feels like you've got more tools to
Sure.
get things done in that car. Whereas the LMP2, you just peg in the throttle and yeah, it's a bit frustrating. I almost feel like in LMP2 it's negative draft because the dirty air LMP2s give off, which you're with, it's just so much higher. In GTP, there's almost no dirty air. In LMP2,
Sure.
it's huge. So if you are following close, getting no benefit from straight line speed, and then in the next corner you're scrubbing your fronts because you're being washed out like a Indy car at the 500. So yeah, but yeah, we're excited. We made split 2, so we did our pre-Qs. We're split 2, but we're mid-pack split 2 on time. So it's I mean it's going to be tough. Like just even a top 5 is going to be really hard. But we're gonna try it, obviously.
Sure.
But yeah,
Best of luck.
thank
Corey.
you.
I'm sure everyone in chat as well can echo what I say there. Best of luck for that event. Le Mans Ultimates have announced details of their second stint. What do you think of that marketing?
I liked it was him. And he was just being frank. He made a couple of queer jokes about T1, and he showed an accident. I liked his down to earth approach. I don't know why I'm a fan of this because obviously it doesn't have the company and the way it was handled, and I know what it's based on and stuff. But hey, Glenn, in chat. So I don't know why I am a fan, but every time I get in it, I'm smiling. So, but what was it? The radar, the BMW LMDH, the
Yeah, so
GT3s.
BMW LMH we already knew was coming, so that's coming like this month, or is it the July pack?
Everything, yeah, June 10th.
June 10th, sorry. Yeah,
The
so
DMD is June 10th, yeah.
Yep. Also, the 2024 liveries are coming as well. So you've been running the 2023 liveries, so now we've got 24. They also confirmed, I think this may have already been announced by them, but this was the first that I'd seen it properly confirmed, that the 2024 content will be coming in 4 packs released throughout the year. This first pack is coming this month, or maybe there's another one next month. and it's going to be rolled out the 2024 content. If we mentioned it a couple of weeks ago, but the 2024 content will only be released by the end of the year. They've got 4 tracks to add and a bunch, or
We
2
know-
GT3s and a couple of GT.
No, the 2 GT3s they referenced were the free ones. They, I think
sure.
they
They've
got a
got to
bunch.
do all the GT3s. haven't
Yeah,
they?
but they're giving 2 GT3s for free
Mm.
and the BMW LMDH. So that was their promise. You'll be able to compete in every event, any style, even 2024 races. But you have to pick a free car if you haven't bought the packs. They announced netcode updates, radar.
Yeah, racing radar, not a weather radar, but yeah, racing radar, so you can see where the cars around you are.
A proper proximity, actually like a mini map, not like iRacing's like.
Well, the one that I think of is the Rennsport one. Do you think it's going to be like that one?
But nobody's played Rennsport, remember?
Oh, so yeah, that's
It's just
not a
us.
very good reference.
Yeah.
sorry everyone.
But yeah, it's a really good radar, and they're adding some multi-class updates with the radar as well, which sound really promising. Like to almost make you aware which of that mess is slower and faster class. So it looks good. Then netcode updates they mentioned about look good.
In-game replay mode is coming as well. I think that'll be. So I think we've sort of spoiled on iRacing. At least I am. There's so many things you can do on the iRacing replay mode when it comes to camera packs and stuff. It's so nice. This will be very basic.
Yeah.
It'll be
TV cam, far chase.
One type of TV cam, one type of onboard probably.
Yeah.
One maybe a chase camera if we're lucky, and you can go forwards or backwards.
Yeah,
and that'll be it.
Damn it, I forgot. Netcode, radar, GT3.
We got some of this information from overtake.gg. I will say, maybe that will.
Maybe it'll trigger my memory what I was going to mention. Let's have a look.
What I will say is that at least in the comments section on Overtake, it wasn't necessarily popular. One of the concerns was the fact that they're sort of selling DLCs for an early access game, and that is questionable.
I agree.
I just hope that us people who are backing the game in the early stages, who are basically keeping probably the company afloat, don't end up having to pay more. Because I assume eventually they're going to have it. You can buy everything for £50.
So you've just reminded me of something really important on that point. The free cars, the free LMDH, the free GT3s, the 2 free GT3s are only to us lot. When the game releases, it will be, there are no free cars. You buy the game and all the content. He said for our early access users, you'll be getting.
But when someone buys the game when it's released, they will have cars, right? They won't have to buy all the cars, will they? They'll have access to
I
some
assume
of the
it'll be
cars.
packs.
But if you so someone could buy the game and then they wouldn't be able to drive because they haven't got the cars.
I don't know the buy model then. Well, why did he mention it? Because he mentioned the two of the pack of GT3. Yeah, so perhaps you're right. Perhaps when the game comes, you pay 60 quid or whatever, and that's all in. You get everything, all right. But these updates that are coming, I think after June 10th, if you then get the game, you maybe don't get the GT3s and LMDH for free. Because he mentioned for our supporters and early access users that they helped us on this journey,
Okay, sure.
we'll be giving 2 GT3s and the MDH for free.
I think maybe that I don't have much. I think they might just be saying, well, thanks for backing the game. Here's like a free car for you all, and everyone else is also going to get it free.
Maybe,
That's my instinct with that.
Big miss on enemy waiting to the end of the year for GT3s. I mean, I don't need an excuse to drive GTE.
What I will say, Nicholas, who posted that big miss on LME for waiting to release GT3s at the end of the year. They haven't really been waiting. They just have fallen behind schedule for some reason.
And it's all just based on ABS. It's ABS. It's the only system they haven't got. When people say R Factor 2, just use R Factor 2s. R Factor 2 never had ABS. It's more an assist. Think of R Factor 2's ABS model as like, oh, you don't know how to use your brake pedal?
Sure.
Where we've built ABS. No. It wasn't sort of a race car ABS system. So they're laying the groundwork for a full ABS system. So, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I hate ABS. So I wish LMU were like, do you know what? No.
I'll make WEC happy.
Yeah, no, that's it. Yeah, let's see. Look, we will in a few weeks. We'll be talking. What I think come July, if there hasn't been an uptick. I know it's still early access, but it hasn't been an uptick, and we've had the IRL Le Mans and the 2024 teasers and everything, then we could be in trouble.
Yeah,
that's how I feel.
could be true.
Oh, the thing I wanted to mention, and I forgot, rolling starts.
Oh,
So
yeah,
the
it
current
didn't
start
work.
system is, I mean, it's pretty rudimentary. You got actually, to be honest, iRacing's is as well. If I rock up to an IMSA race and I'm in GT3, okay, I'm P2, excellent. When LMDH goes,
Sure,
I
yeah,
can
yeah.
go. I know
Yeah.
the rules. I'm not going to get a penalty. I mean, I'll get protested and NIM will ban me, but so would you happen in LMU. But, I mean, it's a gentleman's agreement, all this rubbish we do in iRacing. I mean, I don't know why we do it. Do you know there isn't a rule why LMDHs go off, LMP2s wait, 10 seconds, they go. GT3s, let's wait, we go.
Yeah, but you agree
Watch it
that
on the
it's
TV.
better having it like this,
Yeah,
right?
well, it's not a simulator. In IRL, the GT3s, if the last LMDH or the last prototype is on its own on the back row, the GT3 joins it.
Sure.
So you've got two GT3s there and a GT3 and a prototype.
Yeah, but you're more likely to crash in a sim, right? So you're going to cause a pile up, and then everyone else in the other class is going to be involved.
So anyway, my point was, they're taking two systems. They're taking a little bit of iRacing and all of ACC. They're doing the whole system with the what side of the track you should be on and where on the track. So it'll show you green, orange, and red, and
Sure.
you need to be in the zone by the time the thing comes up. And then it will come up with that. I love ACC. It's almost like hold, and it will give you a speed, 70, and you've got to be like 68, 69, 68. And then when green of your class goes, you floor it. But they're keeping the iRacing part where you can hit people.
Sure.
ACC, you know, like, oh, I'm forming up, like, don't mind me. So I'm excited for that because, yeah, it's a bit of a joke in LMU. At Fuji, all you have to do is be a couple of steps back, you know, like no names. You know, a couple of bit from P5 and you're step back and then you just get up to roll in green. And everyone's like, you're cheating. It's like, well, yeah, but I didn't see a rule. Bye.
Sure.
Because you're traveling 20 kph faster. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that gaming being gone. But, it happened to me in iRacing a long time ago. So you can't ban me now. You'll never find it. And I did it on stream. Interlagos, GTE, ILMS. I didn't mean to. It's like we're coming around the hill and, like, the front three jolted. And I jolted, got on the throttle, went up high. So I couldn't necessarily see the pack until I saw them in my mirror. And I was like, what do I do? But because LMP2s or HPDs or whatever had crossed the line, I didn't get black flagged.
Sure.
All right, iRacing.
Well, Test Drive Unlimited is the next thing we'll mention.
This is the
Solar Crown.
iRacing Test Drive. This is that new game you found.
Yes. Well, 12th of September is the full release, but it is, and again, this is from overtake.gg, you can now play the demo. I think the demo's free. I didn't actually check whether it was free or not. But yeah, you can do a fair amount in it. It has 14 districts, 27 races, 25 quests, and 30 cars. Some of them are buyable, some of them are available in test drive mode. So if you are excited about this game, and I know a lot of people are, you should try it. However, the specs are quite demanding. For high specs, you need a 4070, which is pretty crazy. 16 gig RAM.
4070 is recommended or minimum?
Well, no, on high, to be fair.
Oh.
on recommended, it's a 2080.
They should just not have mentioned anything. Like, I don't know if that's become a thing now where you're like, oh, yeah, so recommended is you spend £900 on a GPU. That's crazy.
Yeah, so some people will be a bit confused by that, especially seeing that's coming out on console. So most people are anticipating that it wouldn't be too demanding, but it is. Nick Horn in chat asking, you covered the return of Traction? We did. We're very happy that they're back. We covered that last week. So
the CEO of Traction has watched.
Yeah, you've commented.
Oh yeah,
on
he
the video.
Messaged me as well.
Very much appreciate
That's
it.
brilliant. Yeah,
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
So that is Test Drive Unlimited. Confusing article next. Corsair. We've discussed them in the past because they are on the verge of buying Fanatec. And strangely, they've released their own rig, or they've announced their own rig.
Yeah, seems weirdly timed. Are you thinking that as well?
Well, yeah.
I assume this was in the works without the Fanatec purchase.
Exactly. I imagine the Fanatec stuff really went bad like a few months ago, and they've maybe been working on this for the last
Yeah,
like
let's see
year or
this.
so.
I don't know anything about this.
And we take pride in our decades of experience
This
leading
is
the
a
PC
person.
development.
RGB, right?
Sim racing.
I mean, I don't know.
Today
what
we're
that
going to
sounds
take an
like.
exclusive first
But
look
yeah.
at the
Wow,
prototype
that's
we've
as
got
long as it's
so
not £15,000. It doesn't actually look too shabby. It looks a bit like the track
Our new
racer,
sim
the
racing
pipe
cockpit
one.
is truly engineered for seasoned sim racers, but we've made it great for beginners too, with a strong flex-resistant steel frame that can handle high-torque wheelbases and heavy-duty
27 Newton
We've learned
meters
from
it can
years
deal
of
with.
making PC components and
Huh?
peripherals that the overall build is a huge part of the product experience. So we're aiming to make it easier than ever to hit the virtual track with a clear and quick assembly, as well as tool-free adjustments for your seat, wheel and pedal positions, reducing the setup time between sessions and making it easier to transition between different styles of racing. We know there's a lot of great hardware out there for sim racing, and we're working to ensure compatibility with most sim racing peripherals on the market and support for ultra-wide monitors with the included monitor mount and other accessories. Taking another page from our experience
I've
in
been
PC
talking about this for a
hardware,
while,
once
I
you've
feel.
got all your gear in place, you can take advantage of the integrated cable management openings in the frame to keep your rig looking sleek. Corsair is a company built by enthusiasts, and we are very excited to step into sim
Yeah,
racing.
so that's the
Not just with the excellent
Corsair
PC
rig.
hardware you've got.
Interesting.
Not too many details given in terms of like prices and stuff because it is just a prototype at the moment. But yeah, it looks all right. You're gonna have GT and Formula positions that you can have, and yeah, like I said, it can deal with 27 Newton meter wheels, which is more than enough, and 150 kilos of for the pedals as well. And I think pedals go up to about 120. I feel like it's the highest I've heard anyone use, so that's plenty enough as well. So yeah, that might
Do we know
be...
anything on price?
No, they haven't said anything on price.
If you don't say the price, it's expensive. Because
Well,
otherwise
this
you come in like,
is-
this is $499, like literally the headliner.
Well, yeah, it's going to be more. I mean, I feel like probably track racers maybe the most.
Yeah, because they do
value
that.
for money.
Well, they do a
moment.
very piped rig like that as well, don't they?
Yeah. So I doubt it'll be. I don't know. What are we thinking when it comes to that? Maybe I feel like track racers maybe like 600 or something like that. So I guess it's going to be like $1,000.
Somebody, because shipping's not going to be cheap on them sort of things, is it?
No.
Yeah, so it's not. The problem is, you think, oh, can't they make it lightweight? And so, well, yeah, then when your DD goes off, you're going to really feel it.
Sure. Yeah. So I think that's sim racing news for this week. Wasn't the most busy week ever, but we have been discussing for about 50 minutes. So
Yeah.
We found some stuff. Apex Racing Team is the next thing we'll discuss. Our esports team. Actually, no. One thing that I will just say first: Apex Racing Academy, new season coming up. Do check out Apex Racing Academy. Go to apexracingac.com in order to get your subscription,
Yep.
because it's absolutely the best way to get fast. And with week 1 coming up in the official series, then yeah, it's a really good time to get involved and get fast in one of the cars. So do check out apexracingac.com to get setups for the GT cars and single seaters and all sorts. Unfortunately, yeah, Nick Horn and Glim BT disappointed that Michael
Mr. Yanni.
will not be doing the coaching anymore. So yes, that is a bit of a shame on that one. But yes, was the GOAT coach, I think, was Michael.
He was very well liked, yeah.
Yeah,
sure.
really good coach in the Porsche Cup. So a bit of a shame on that one. But we've still got many other superb esports coaches who will get you faster.
No one's asked me yet to cover him. It's weird.
Oh, do you not think it's a bit like just they don't have to say it? They're just like, well, yeah,
It's
David, you
assumed.
will be on Wednesday, 7 o'clock, teaching
Teaching Porsche Cup.
with your watch. Guys, did I tell you? Finished 5th in the All Stars. So Apex Racing Team, our esports squad. ESL R1 is on tonight for Monza. Do check out our Twitch stream. I believe Leo Garboli is doing like a pre-stream from like 2 o'clock this
Excellent.
afternoon. So tune in for that, and that will be on till about 4 o'clock. I'm talking about British people here. It'll be 1 hour later for Europeans. So watch that, and then we'll be covering, I think, from the studio actually for this week, the ESR R1 for this week. So do check that out. Will be from Monza, which is usually one of the more exciting races. Jamie had an awesome run there last season, so I really hope that he can perform well. It is the third team event of the season, and so far it's been going sort of all right for Apex. I think good pace. Obviously, with all these things, it's difficult to fully execute it, but I think so
Correct.
far the guys are fairly happy.
Yeah, obviously a lot's changed with the car, so they've been putting in the hours. But not everything's gone their way. But I think they feel like when it is, they've got it together. So I think positivity is strong. But the way the car drives and the level of competition, it's tough. Like it's being on it, it's such a narrow window. We saw like Kev had pole and at the street circuit, so that's guaranteed win, right?
Yeah.
And then Bosch is in the wall, so this is the problem. Like you just got to keep being on it all season long.
Indy 500 happened last weekend.
Oh, I heard. I still haven't seen. I heard though.
Oh, I've seen. I haven't included the clips, but yeah, I think like Pete got caught up in a crash, which wasn't his fault, and then Luke managed to like go under his car, even though like I think the car was still like above him. It still registered as a contact, and then
I remember the
got,
days
like,
where
flown
if
into
the
air.
car was off the ground, it would be register free. Do you remember that?
It would be what?
You
sorry?
wouldn't. You would drive straight through it.
Oh,
It'd sometimes pop up a 0x.
I don't remember that. No.
Oh yeah, you almost
Okay.
like if they've smashed a wall and they're coming back across to you, as long as nothing touches the ground, and
Sure.
you used to just drive through them. But obviously it's changed, or
So yeah, I think they were running well. I think they were in the open. They were on for a top 10, and then I think in the fix, I think Luke in particular was on for maybe a podium. So bit of a shame on that. There were some other Apex drivers that he did quite well. Did you see any of the other Apex drivers who did quite well?
I didn't. So I was doing. What was I doing at the same time? But I was driving.
Okay, yeah. Well,
Wait,
yeah,
are you? Wait. Did you do it? Wait, you were smirking.
Sorry, so did you ask me?
Yeah.
if I-
How did you get on?
how did I get on? I think I'd have to
Bring up the
I
clip.
think I'd have to check results. Oh man. I honestly, you just like throwing this on me. I wasn't prepared to talk about this. You really
You didn't
yeah,
tell
just,
me you was doing it.
just throw me all out of place. Okay, so I just need to remind myself how I did.
Oh my god!
Oh, here we go. Yeah, here we go.
Congratulations.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Slight delay. Yeah, I won. I won. Just first attempt.
Oh, for God's sake!
Never done Indy before. I didn't realize you couldn't do qualifying on the Saturday morning, so I didn't do a qualifying time. So I was like 24th split, but it was like 2K off. So that's
Yeah.
not that's not
Look at that.
two, 3, 4. And yeah, I won the race by a country mile as well, 3/10 at Indy. That's massive. Fantastic fight in the closing stages, and just a really good driver. So
I am going to rub my watch so hard in your face you have a tag print. But yeah, well done.
well,
mate.
I get a virtual certificate,
You do.
so maybe I'll print that off and
Well, yeah.
suffocate you with it. So
Well done. No, that's giga, mate. I've tried the Indy a few times and yeah. No.
yeah, I was nervous. Leg was shaking in the last 10 laps.
I bet.
I wasn't dealing with it well.
Especially when tyres start to go off, that car can be a bit awkward.
Yeah. And we were having like 4 wide at times as well with a few to go. So yeah, very pleased with that.
Mega job.
Well, it's really nice that I got ammunition to keep chatting about my successes in future. So that won't be the last time you hear about that. Apex Racing TV. There weren't really any like great highlights, so I don't think we'll show any clips today. But we have got the monthly highlights video. It will be coming out in the next few days. So do check it out. All the best moments from April. From May. We also posted a bunch of like good moments from April as well on our social media. So do check out Apex Racing TV on Instagram in particular, but also on Twitter and Facebook, because then you can see some real cool clips of different moments that have happened on Apex Racing TV. Our social media is all right. Apex Racing League next up. Apex Racing League GT3 Trophy starts next week. We're not doing anything today in the
Uh-huh.
studio because week 13 and that. So we give the drivers a week and a half to pick what GT3 they want to use for the season. And yeah, we've got all the drivers set. It's filled up the entries, 60 drivers. So
Mega.
it should
That's
be
a lot of Mustangs.
a lot of Mustangs. Yeah. It's going to be good. I'm now viewing the chat. Nick Horn. You did fall into my trap. Although
did.
I don't think I was really going to let you.
I didn't. Had I not carried on looking around, because you were saying other drivers did well, and I thought you was actually asking me if I knew if any of the other academy drivers how they got on. I looked around, and saw the smirk on your face.
I was smirking for about 2 minutes before that. I was trying to hold it back. ARL Endurance as well is still open for entries. We have some. I won't say what it is, but we have some pretty cool prizes being announced. Already a lot of £1,500 of prize money already available for drivers to win. And then we've got some pretty cool prizes, but there's going to be some extra prizes, but I won't say what they are yet. But they'll be good. Keep an eye out on the Apex Racing League social medias for more information. I think that is everything that I wanted to go through. But is there anything else you wanted to mention?
No, obviously it's weird. Apex in this early. I'm usually a late one. But no, yeah, no, it's been a good week. I'm looking forward to seeing how the participation. Obviously, we've got Watkins Glen 6 hour coming up, so I know IMSA week 1 at the Glen is going to be hyper busy because GT3s are at Barca Historic. So I expect IMSA to be absolutely rocking. But I also know that isn't a true reflection of how it's going to be. So yeah, I'm not being pessimistic, but I'm not looking at week 1 at the because everyone wants to drive the Vare, everyone wants to drive the Mustang, and everyone's prepping for Watkins Glen.
Do we know the weather for 1 Watkins 6 and 2 the official series for next week for IMSA?
So I don't know Watkins 6 because we won't know until that official session sort of gets. Then we'll know the timeline.
Sure.
But it is open to be raining for sure. Officials this season are sparse in the wet. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I think IMSA has only 2. GT3's had 2 weeks, but also then the percents are a lot lower. Like you're seeing one of them 11%, so probably not going to see, which is quite a good thing. Last season it felt like it was 100 or 0. GT4's has the most. I think it was 3 or 4.
Okay, but even that's it depends on the circuit, in my opinion. I think if it's not kill, then yeah, it should have 50% chance of rain. But yeah, if it's Navarra, then yeah, shouldn't be as high. So yeah, a lower I think is better, at least for now. Yeah. Cool. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Much appreciate your comments. And we'll be back next week for another Late Apex. Like I said earlier on, do keep tuned on the ESL R1 team stream. Later on, that will be on the Apex Racing Team YouTube channel or the Apex Racing Team Twitch channel as well. So do tune in for that to support everyone in that championship. But for now, we will say goodbye and we'll see you next week on the Late Apex.
Ciao.